Good evening, visitors, and welcome to the Australian War Memorial's Last Post ceremony. My name is Sharon Bown, and joining us this evening from the Royal Australian Navy is Warrant Officer Damien Collins. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that continue to serve, and the families that love and support them. We acknowledge the members of RSL and Services Clubs Association, RSL Victoria and RSL Queensland, who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection by visitors to the memorial. If you are able, would you now please stand and join in singing the National Anthem. Those requiring a seat, please be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight we will read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 102,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths and floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection.
Today, we remember and pay tribute to Gunner Richard Vernon Grimshaw. Richard Grimshaw was born on the 21st of April 1919 in the Sydney suburb of Cogra, the son of Lawrence and Amy Grimshaw. He grew up in the nearby suburb of Bexley with his mother, father and sister Pam. He enjoyed playing cricket and baseball and was a member of the Brighton Sands Surf Lifesaving Club. After attending Sydney Technical College, he found work as an electrical mechanic and served in the militia, operating part-time with the 6-year field battery of the 18th Field Brigade. Grimshaw enlisted for service during the Second World War on the 19th of June 1940 at the age of 21. He was posted to the 6th Battalion and then transferred to the 22nd Anti-Tank Battery. After a period of home leave in September 1940 and then pre-embarkation leave in December at Bathurst, Grimshaw suffered a bout of illness that plagued him for the first half of 1941. After being in and out of hospital for a number of months, with periods at Prince of Wales Hospital and Lady Wakehurst Convalescent Home, he rejoined his unit in August. Gunner Grimshaw embarked with his unit on the troop ship Zealandia in early September 1941, landing at Reball late in the month as part of Lark Force. Tasked with protecting the airfields at Lakunai and Vunakarnel and the seaplane base at Reball, Lark Force spent the following months constructing defences and training for operation in a tropical environment. It was about this time the Japanese bombing of New Britain began, increasing in intensity as the month continued. By the 22nd of January, 24 Squadron had been virtually destroyed and its three remaining aircraft were withdrawn. With no use for airstrips, these were destroyed and Lark Force withdrew from Reball, waiting on the western shores of Blanche Bay for the inevitable Japanese landings. These began at 1 a.m. on the 23rd of January. Overwhelming Japanese strength, combined with Australian communication failures, quickly cracked the cohesion of the Australian defence. Realising the futility of the situation, Colonel John Scanlon ordered a withdrawal on the basis of every man for himself. Over the following days, groups and individuals sought escape along New Britain's north and south coasts. Some found small boats and got away on their own. Others were picked up by larger vessels operating from New Guinea. Around 400 members of Lark Force managed to return to Australia. A grisly fate awaited those who were captured on the 4th of February. A group of 160 were massacred at the Toll Plantation shortly after their surrender. Gunner Grimshaw managed to avoid this fate and was among the group of approximately 850 military prisoners and 200 civilian internees who were ordered to board the Montevideo Maru on the morning of the 22nd of June. 8 days into the voyage to Hainan, the Montevideo Maru was spotted by the American submarine USS Sturgeon, which manoeuvred into position to fire its stern torpedoes. Survivors from the Montevideo Maru's Japanese crew reported 2 torpedoes striking the vessel, followed by an explosion in the oil tank in the aft hold. The vessel sank in as little as 11 minutes. Of those on board, barely 20 Japanese crew survived. Over 1,000 others died. According to a surviving Japanese crewman, Australians in the water sang Auld Lang Syne to their trapped mates as the ship sank beneath the waves. The sinking is considered the worst maritime disaster in Australia's history. Unaware of the ship's loss, the families of those on the Montevideo Maru continued to send letters in the belief that their loved ones were being held as prisoners of war. Richard Grimshaw's father died unexpectedly on the 27th of December 1943, still not aware of his son's fate. It was not until after the war that Grimshaw's mother and sister learned of the fate of those lost on the Montevideo Maru. Richard Grimshaw was 23 years old. His name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my left, among almost 40,000 Australians who died while serving in the Second World War. His photograph is displayed today by the Pool of Reflection. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Gunner Richard Vernon Grimshaw, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the Ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor do years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Pozières or in the low scrub at Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. We thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial and we wish you all a very good evening. Thank you.